This is its227 website development. Welcome to the new semester. And away we go. So in this course, now we have two major components I want to talk about. One is ZBooks, or ZBooks, and LaLima, of course. And you should already be familiar a little bit with LaLima because you got to this video via LaLima. In LaLima, there's a week-by-week set of modules. I'll go over that briefly with you, and there's a connection to ZBooks. And of course, there's Moonlight. Moonlight is the web development server that I manage, where you'll be publishing your projects, mini projects, and reflections. Okay, let's look at ZBooks. So everything is broken down by weeks or groups of weeks. And there's something due each week, or each group of weeks. It's always by Sunday by 11:59 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. And yes, I will pace you through this course. You will follow my pacing. I have very firm due dates. Adjust your schedules, please. There are three types of basic activities in ZBooks. There are participation activities, challenge activities, and labs. Labs are the more hands-on stuff, and participation and challenge activities are kind of build-ups to the real thing. Okay, so the participation stuff, this is really what kind of replaces your traditional textbook and the lecture and all that stuff. I'm also going to be adding some supplemental links and some YouTube lectures when I think it's appropriate. Anyway, this is the place where knowledge and skills are learned. This is the study part. Okay. So you need to know the stuff that are in these participation activities in order to be successful in the challenges and to be successful in the labs, to be successful in the projects. So there's some reading, there's some short quizzes, which you can take an infinite number of times. There's some little matching exercises, short answer, and there's some sandbox. All that stuff you can do as many times as you like. And the points, which are easy to get, are acquired by just going through the content. They vary by activity, but most of them are 1 point each. Please note that the matching activities are 1 point for an entire set, but still 1 point each. Challenge activities, these build on the participation activities. They're mostly sandbox things where you can change some of the code. And these are also auto-graded. Okay, so these are more challenging. The labs are, again, sandbox. Here's, again, a place where you can write or modify code to create some example following some directions. These are all 10 points each. You have 10 attempts. You must wait 5 minutes between each attempt submission. So this is a little bit more structured. Everything else is pretty, open. Okay, now the Moonlight projects, and you'll get more familiar with Moonlight as we move on in the semester. There are going to be 4 mini projects that are 70 points each, 2 large projects, which are 200 points each. The first one is a group project. The second one is an individual project. And then 3 reflections, which are asking you to think about what you're doing and what does it mean. And those are like 20 points each. Okay. So we're going to take a look at the syllabus and the schedule here in just a second. You should note that everything, there's something due each week. It starts on a Sunday and ends on a Sunday. So it's a little bit of an overlap. So instead of a 7-day week, you have kind of an 8-day week. Whatever the points say in ZBooks, divided by 6. Otherwise, you're going to have like thousands and thousands of points. So take those ZBooks points and divide by 6. There's a progression in the class as far as what we study. We start off with HTML, then we move on to cascading style sheets, JavaScript, jQuery, and Bootstrap. Bootstrap is the framework that we'll use for doing mobile websites. There will be a group project in the middle of the semester that's going to require cooperation, some coordination, some communication. All these things are soft skills that are required in industry, so you should be able to do these things. Then the last quarter of the semester is where we're going to focus on mobile development. So this is where we're going to do the Bootstrap stuff, and it's a little bit more open, and we're going to move you towards that. Everything is based on 1,000 points, Actually, there's a little more than 1,000 points, so you're getting a few extra points for free. Again, due dates are firm. You're going to need to use a VPN to connect to Moonlight from home. I'll give you some directions on that in your first mini project. We can set up Zoom meetings. I'll send out a when is good scheduling preference for you. We can do one-on-one Zoom meetings as well. You send me an email. I'm pretty good at email. Just send it to singer@hawaii.edu. I know there's a phone number listed on the syllabus, but it goes to the office, and I'm not going to be in the office much. So I would not even use that. Instead, email. And again, I'll give you a 24-hour time. Don't worry. Okay, guys. So here, I said we look at the syllabus. Here's the syllabus. I make a little joke here about when and where. This thing is all the time, every day, everywhere. That's the nature of online learning. Here's that ZBooks information you're going to need. I've repeated this in a few different places, but it's right here. That's Hawaii its227 Singer Fall 2020. Please note there are 3 capital I's in the middle there. The last 2 of Hawaii and the first of ITS. Let's see what else. I would recommend getting Notepad++. Here, and you're going to need an FTP client. I can help you a bit if you use FileZilla. If you use another one, I can't help as much, but you're welcome to use whatever you want. But FileZilla, I know better than most. All right, you should know something about, again, recommended preparations, mostly databases and some coding. We're going to talk about history of the internet, terminology, etc. The real thrust of the class is designing, developing, and updating World Wide Web pages using HTML5, cascading style sheets, doing elements, classes, IDs, pseudo-elements, pseudo-classes, etc., etc. And I'm moving forward to the part where I know you want to know how you're going to be graded. And there's all this stuff, oops, on the left side here. Projects, talks a bit about that. ePortfolio reflections. The ZBooks work, talks about that. Yes. Participation, attendance. When I say attendance, I mean to attend to the class. I know we're not going to be in class necessarily, just to pay attention, if you will. Again, attendance. If you attend to the class, you'll be successful. Don't do anything in the class except for on Sunday nights, 10 o'clock. You're not going to be successful. I'm sorry, man. So I really highly recommend you spread this out over the week. There's plenty to do there. Here's the point breakdown. You're going to be 2 major projects at 200 points each for 400 points. 4 minor projects at 70 points each for 280 points. The ZBooks, take all that stuff and divide it by 6. I think it comes out to, 40%. Then you have your ePortfolio reflections. That's 3 times 20 for 60 points. Grand total of 1,000 points. Well, 1,010. Anyway, breakdown is there, 90 to 100%, A, 80, 89B, etc. Try to be ADA compliant. Guys, please, if you have an issue, please, you can self-identify at the DSSO office. Then I can help you. Otherwise, I can't help much. Right now, the Kubiko learning hours are kind of like this, but hey, I'm sure they will change. Let us all try to stay safe and healthy. And there's some other information. And I'm going to go over here to the schedule. The schedule is listed here. Week 1, we start right off. Week 1, that's ZBooks, Chapter 1. It must be done in Week 1. If you miss out on it, if you don't have anything, if you haven't turned it in by August 30th, you are SOL. You lose those points. Same thing with Week 2, Week 3, etc. You must pay attention, something to do every week. Please look this up where things begin and end. I've tried to color code them for you. And down at the very end, jQuery, and then mobile development, which we're using Bootstrap. And okay, let's jump over to the Lalima site. Okay, here we are at Lalima. There could be some announcements that are going to be popping up in a little bit. There are links here on the left to the syllabus, the schedule. Here's the ZBooks place, forums. We can have some discussions. Here's the main organizer right here. Is these week-by-week modules. Let's see if this will open up for us. Yes, it does. We have week 1. We have ZBooks. Here's this intro. Here's week 2, etc., etc. I can add some more YouTube lectures and etc. as we move along in the semester. You can email me over here or just use your other email as long as you send it to singer@hawaii.edu. My apologies on the length of this. I try to keep these as short as possible, but this first one, I got to cover a lot of material. Anyway, welcome to the beginning of the semester. Let's make it a good one. Aloha.